from hillbilly crime. You can't hide from hillbilly crime. You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair. Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound. Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pine. Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't match the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be
Can you hear me now? I forgot to hit the microphone and turn it on. Thank you, Marnie. We've got the best mods in the business. Sorry, y'all. So I went to Lexington today. One more step closer to my teeth being completely done. Completely. So, one more step. And as soon as I got home, yeah, I know, y'all. Well, see, it's this simple. It's this simple. That simple. And I'm just waking up. Sorry, y'all. As soon as I got home, I was exhausted and I laid down on the couch. And the next thing you know, I was asleep. I woke up and I was like, oh crap. We got to get to work. We got to get to work. All right. How have you guys been today? How has your day been? It was really, really bad. The roads were awful today here. We are on a 1 hour delay for school. Let's see. And so we're going to look at the Mickey Stines case reimagined. Okay. So we have been reading for the last couple of nights. We've been reading from the civil lawsuit that Judge Mullins's wife or widow has filed against Mickey and 3 of the sheriff's department employees. So one is Jason Eccles. Jason Eccles is one that works court security. He's not a deputy, so he's not a police officer that, rides around in a sheriff's car. Jason Eccles only uses, I got a cat over here. Hey, come on. Who's over there? Who's doing all this? Hang on, let me go figure out which one is trying to mess up my cords here. Come here. You are too big. You will tear everything up. Up, and you already did. Dang it. Come on, man. Hang on, y'all. Sheesh. Man. Give me just a second. Let me get down here on my hands and knees. Man. Well, it's one of them days. One of them days. Sheesh. All right. Thank you. Now I got an eyelash mascara in my eye. Sheesh. Sorry, guys. And it's this big guy. Let me turn this back off. This is the culprit. You can't even hardly see him. Look how big his feet are. This is Bear. Look at them eyes. Looks like he's pouting. Can't hardly see him. See that? Shining and glowing. Independent journalism. Well, he's the one back there behind my computer pulling my cords out of my stuff. Don't you dare even go back there. You jump off there. We just tossed him out on the floor. All right. He's one we found at the football field starving to death. when he was a baby with his sibling. And I wish I knew who got his sibling. If you're out there and you got Bear's sibling, let me know. Reach out to me, please. Okay. So, tonight, we're going to do something important because over the last few weeks, I've noticed something happening. The public conversation around the Mickey Stines case seems to be shifting some, and not just a little bit, a lot. People who once defended Mickey are asking new questions, or at least they are starting to ask questions. Some of them. Now, people who once believed rumors are now demanding evidence. We've kind of seen, especially right after the shooting happened, we saw a whole lot of blind loyalty being thrown right behind Mickey. If Mickey did this, then he had a good reason. The Mickey that everybody seemed to think that they knew or that they know did not square with this Mickey that we're seeing now. A whole new crowd is starting to challenge the earlier narrative completely. Tonight, we're going to go through the actual comments from a Facebook page, a crime page, the real community reaction, and talk about what this shift means, what we now know, and what the court will or will not allow in the future. So this ain't my opinion, okay? This is, it's the people that are talking. We're going to look at some comments. Let's look at what they're saying. Okay, let me get these up here real quick. I'll go back over here and we'll look at some comments while I get these up. Oh, y'all are still talking about my kitty. My pretty kitty. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Now this is a well, we'll just do it this way. So this was, I'm just going to grab a screenshot of this and then we'll look at the comment behind it. All right. So this is something that I found on Facebook. It's another article that's being shared. This one came out yesterday. 212 reactions on it, 207 comments, and 37 shares. Sheriff's daughter claims she never knew slain judge. Let me switch that over. Okay. I'll take that down real quick. Sheriff's daughter claims she never knew slain judge, yet investigators found her number saved in his phone. Now, I don't know how accurate this information is that's on these posts. This is a crime page here, too, okay? In a twist, complicating an already explosive case, the daughter of the Kentucky sheriff accused of unaliving Judge, and then it doesn't even have his name there, now insists she had no relationship whatsoever with the slain jurist. Even as investigators confirm her phone number was discovered in the judge's contact list. Is that true? I don't think that's true. I think they said it was not saved in the judge's phone as a contact number. I don't think that's accurate. But, you know, I don't know. But I don't think that that's accurate. I'm pretty sure they said it was not saved as a contact in the judge's phone. But it was on the phone because Mickey dialed the number. Sitting there, we saw it on the video. We saw Mickey dial her number, or at least that's what we were led to believe, that he was trying to call his daughter. Detectives are working to determine how the connection was made, whether there were prior communications, and why the judge had her information at all. The revelation is fueling new speculation about undisclosed ties, hidden tensions, or a possible motive emerging from within the sheriff's own family. As the investigation widens, authorities say this unexpected link could become a pivotal element in understanding what led to the deadly courthouse confrontation. All right, we're going to take that down, and then we're going to look at it. So this is crime history. Crime history. They've got 55,000 followers. Uncover shocking crimes and unsolved mysteries, taking you back through time to explore the dark events that changed history forever. Well, this is one of the cases that they have picked up here, crime history. But I don't think that information that they have put in that is accurate. I just don't think it is. Okay. We're going to go look at some of the comments. Stop this. Let's go to all. Yeah, I think she's done something. Well, no, we're not going to read that one. Okay. Anyone can have anyone's phone number without them knowing it. Speculation by you and I solves nothing. However, phone records do. Absolutely. Regardless of when the calls were made, they have records. If the dad did it, they will have the timestamp. If the judge had called previously, that will show too. It doesn't matter what the phone shows. It's the records at the carrier. Her number wasn't saved in the judge's phone. Mickey dialed her number using the judge's phone because when Mickey called, and there was no relationship between Kevin and Mickey's daughter. It was nothing but a rumor. She has been saying there was no relationship between her and Kevin since the day of the shooting. Think about it. If the rumors were true, Don't you think she would admit it in order to gain sympathy for Mickey so the courts would go easy on him? Unless you have actual information, my statement still stands. Speculation. Several people said that made comments. We won't read some of those comments. If they have proof that the sheriff was aware of something between the judge and the sheriff's daughter, then they have clear motive for murder. Oh, brother, you can't go around unaliving people and unarmed people plus overkill. Does she really look all that innocent? She could have told someone. If the sheriff was so well respected, he should have done something besides murder. That's no reason to unalive, even if it was true. Two consenting adults is no reason to unalive. But it wasn't happening anyway. Everyone in Letcher County knows. Oh. Well, I'm not going to read that. And especially not men 30 years older. Okay, well, I'm going to just stop sharing that because there's a lot of unkind things written in those comments. It sure is Monday, Philip. It sure is. My gosh. All right. One of the things that I heard, one of the rumors that I heard very early on was that Mickey's daughter was a dog walker for the judge. That she was the judge's dog walker. They didn't have a dog walker. The judge lived like 2 miles from my house. I pass by every time I take my kids to school, every time I go to the grocery store, every time I go to the dollar store. I had to drive past where they lived. So I could see, plain as day. We all live in a very small community. And anytime I took my kids to the baseball, we were ball players. They lived near that area. And so every time we would leave or go to, we would have to drive past. Their dogs, they had old dogs, like nothing like mine, hyper thing. But they just seemed to be like old dogs that just laid outside. Like we live in a rural area. We don't have sidewalks. We didn't live in town. We don't live in a city where they've got sidewalks and blocks and stuff. And so I have a little bit of personal information on that side of it. That I just don't see why they would ever employ her or anyone as a dog walker when their dogs they're not on chains, they're not on leashes, they're just they were when they lived there. Just outside dogs that were on their own. They didn't have any kind of barrier or anything. So I don't think that part is true at all. I don't think she was ever a dog walker. I don't think that had any merit at all, that part. So I think that there's going to be a whole lot of those kinds of things that we're going to find just ain't true. But we're going to start with where the public used to stand when this case first hit the news. Bullet points is what I made me up some bullet points for this. Mickey snapped. The judge was blamed very heavily. Rumors about the judge and Mickey's daughter started floating around immediately. As soon as this happened, the rumors were already starting about Mickey's daughter and Kevin. Now, I personally believe that because Mickey was so vocal about seeing his daughter and talking to her, I think that that got in everybody's head. You know, why is he so desperate to speak to her? It really didn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not any kind of I have no psychology or we ain't no behavior experts or nothing. I'm no lawyer. I'm nobody. I'm just a true crimer with an education, and I got a show. It's the only difference, and we like to talk about this stuff. All right. People were treating Mickey like a tragic hero or victim. And his daughter, she automatically became a victim of something, of nothing. It wasn't true. Or was it? Are we supposed to just take everybody's word? We're just supposed to take her and her mother's word, right? No investigation, no phone records. Yeah, I think that they're going to have to do that. Like, if there was, but how would anybody know? Do you have a whole lot of faith in the people who are actually responsible for this investigation? I don't. I don't. The public thought that the call from the judge's phone proved something. It proved something, this relationship, this imaginary relationship. Or was it? I mean, we don't know. We don't know anything other than what little bit some have come out and said. But the narrative has been shaped from early on. Over time, that narrative started cracking. What people are saying now, let me get these screenshots up here. Okay. Well, still, I don't have much space on my phone, so it's saying you don't have enough space on your phone to send that. Okay. Well, then I'll just read them. Okay, cancel. Cancel, cancel, cancel. All right, here's one of the comments. Turn that off. Come on now. You know Mickey Stines unalived for only 3 things: money, women, or drugs. It's either the 3. Come on now. Oh, it's either the 3, one of the 3. Come on now. Surely it don't take a rocket scientist. Please tell me no. The cops, the family, and even Mickey's own attorney already said her number was in his phone because Mickey tried to call her that day from the judge's phone. That's the only reason. People just can't let this go and keep pushing this lie. And that's true. No matter how many times they have come out and said, you know, what really, when have they come out and said it though? Other than the lawyer, Mickey's lawyer has said, so I mean, all he really needed to do was say it once. He didn't really need to come out and say it any more times than that. But if you're going to take them at their word, you've got the lawyer saying it, and you had Preacher Man who came out like the day after the shooting, and he said immediately, right off the rip, mental illness is real. Mental illness is real. Yeah, we know that, Michael. Thanks. And you're going to be real surprised. It ain't going to have nothing. It ain't going to be nothing to do with what you, well, not you, but you are saying. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Thanks, Preacher Man. We appreciate that advice. Nobody really knows. Still to this day. Nobody knows. If Mickey had done this out of some moral stand, I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't watch him abuse one more woman. I couldn't stand by and watch him extort, sextort, smextort. That's mine. That's my word. Smexual. And we'll just move it right on over to smextortation. Smextortation. But we have got some funny ways of saying stuff, don't we? Now, people have said in their comments, that doesn't prove anything. You don't unalive someone because they have a phone number. He dialed from his phone first. She didn't answer. Why use the judge's phone at all? Now, does the phone call point to motive, or is it meaningless without any kind of context? Is it just a red herring? I think it is. I think the phone call is a red herring. I don't think it has anything to do with the shooting. This is just my own personal opinion. I don't think it does. The he snapped narrative is finally falling apart. Is the rumor about the daughter finally dying off? Let's see. Yes, good evening. Good evening. Hello, Miss Wanda. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Black Olive. Glad you are here. Let's see. What do y'all have any comments on what we've said so far? Troy Gray. Mickey went to his daughter's school that day and talked to her. Well, we know that he went to the school. I don't know if he actually spoke to her at the school. I've heard both things. And how do you know which one's true? There are so many rumors. I think it's going to depend on whose credibility that you believe. So one of the stories that I've been told through very credible sources, okay? So one person that I know, big professional person, we all see the same doctors. You know, we all see the same people, the same professional people. We're all clients or patients or, you know, whatever. And this professional source that I have said that allegedly the daughter had went to the hospital up to ARH that day. And her and her mother allegedly had went up to the hospital. For what? I don't know. But allegedly she was seen and it was kept off the books. And it was told by one of the doctors there at the hospital. This one particular doctor told 2 people that I know about that. And both of those people told me about it. So, I mean, if you want to take that with a grain of salt, because I'm getting it like fourth hand. But it kind of makes sense. They said that the daughter and the wife were there. If you think about back to the video of right after the shooting, Mickey was out in the hallway and I want to see him. I want to see him. And they were like, well, where, you know, how can we get a hold of her? Da, da, da. And he said, LaShawna already said they were outside, that the wife and the daughter were there that day. Now, they weren't there in the courthouse when the shooting happened. I think they had come. They must have come from wherever they were at. But now Neon, where we lived in Neon, or where they lived in McRoberts and Neon area, that's that's far away from Whitesburg. That's far away from the courthouse. So it would have taken them much longer. You know, I mean, it's what, maybe a 20-minute drive, but still 15, 20-minute drive. But still, you know, we went down there that night. It wasn't like they couldn't have gotten through. It wasn't like there were police cars everywhere and you couldn't get into downtown because they had it blocked off. No, we marched our happy hind ends right on up there. We sat there and talked to people outside that courthouse that night after the shooting. I've got a video where I have a local. I have never shown the video, but we've got a local talking for about 20 minutes, standing outside that courthouse. I don't know if I share that or not. We might. We will one day for sure share it. But it was it was an elderly woman. And so I might just keep her thoughts on the whole thing for a little bit longer. We might bring it out later. But okay. Some of the comments. Something caused him to do it. So somebody I spoke to today, honey, they are dying on that hill that he was on meth. She said, every time I watch one of the videos of him in that talking, he is acting just like somebody on methamphetamine, having a methamphetamine psychosis break. And I said, well, that's what I said as soon as it happened. As soon as I saw that video, I was like, Hold up. It's a 22. Hold up. It's a 4-5. It's a chopper. Does anybody know Auntie Hammy? It's a chopper. I love her, man. She is so funny, hilarious. She's the one who does the Hoochie song. Sorry. Anyway, y'all might not. We're a different audience over here, y'all. Y'all might not know about Auntie Hammy. Y'all might not be ready for Auntie Hammy. All right. Sorry, I needed me some sugar. I got me a nerd. All right. I don't know why. For some reason, a whole bunch of people said that they thought that the daughter looked more like the judge than she did Mickey. And that's just ridiculous. I think she looks just like her dad. If they have proof that the sheriff was aware of something between the judge and the sheriff's daughter, then we already read that. They have clear motive for murder. Okay. So according to the testimony from the KSP investigators, which, do y'all have faith in them investigators? You think these KSP detectives, Stamper, the one that got up there on the stand, do you think that they are really investigating this case, like following up on every lead? Bluegrass. Free Mickey and give him a key to every courthouse in Kentucky. Right, Jess? Yes, mine too. Black Olive. All police department employees are on pharmaceutical math. Well, I don't know about that, but yay! Thanks for my new subscribers on my YouTube channel. Bless you. I don't know. I'm sure I didn't have anything to do with that. But I am so happy for you. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. It's another catch 22. It's a 22. It's a chopper. I love that. I love it. All right. Tammy, do y'all think this nasty stuff still going on at that jail or the courthouse? Well, I can tell you, if it was before, I'd say it probably still is, because I have not seen anybody be afraid. I've not seen anybody have any fear whatsoever. Right after the shooting happened and all this stuff started coming out, we had a girl reach out to me. She's in her early 20s, young girl. And she was so bothered because a former police officer, who's not a police officer anymore, he used to be, but he still runs with all of them. He still posts all these pictures with his police uniform on and, puts it all out there in social media world like You know, he's law enforcement. He's a law dog, baby. Now, and I got his entire personnel file. I found out why he's no longer a law dog, baby. But we haven't shown it. We haven't talked about that yet. But we will one day. Right time. I got so much stuff, I'm just stacking it. Just stacking it for the right moment, the right time to bring it out. But this former police officer reaches out to this girl on Snapchat, more than likely. They love those disappearing messages. And asked her if she needed her car payment paid that month. You need some help with your car payment this month, honey. Or you want to go to Tennessee with me and old chief of police, who's a current chief of police. And old DD, baby. Don't forget about the watcher. You go with all three of us down to Tennessee this weekend. We'll pay you car payment for you this month. What, $600? How much your car payment? $600? Well, we'll pay that for you. She was appalled. She was appalled. Number one, that he would have the nerve and the audacity to think that she would even take him up on it. Number one. She was very offended, which, you know, I would have been too. I'm constantly offended. I've been offended all my life at those kinds of things. But the other part that upset her so much was this shooting just happened. This stuff is just now coming out. And they had the nerve to continue doing this? Now that everybody kind of knows about it, which everybody knew about it before, they just didn't admit that they knew it. Now everybody knows. They just don't want to say it. They just don't talk about it. And guess, I found out some other information today. You know, we live in a very small community. And one thing that I've learned, everybody's related to everybody. Now, not me. My mom's family, my mom and dad's family, like when they grew up, my mom and dad both grew up in Greenup County, Kentucky. Mom's family is from here. The Justices, we were justice people from Pike County. You know, we kind of meandered. My people have meandered for survival, you know. But, so, and Mom went wherever she could get a job. And she got a job. She got hired on at the college here in Cumberland, in Harlan County, when I was in 5th grade. That was what brought our roots here. But like Mom said the other night when she was on the show, when it was time for her to go to college, she stayed in a dorm. She needed a place to live. You know, she wasn't out on the streets partying. She was trying to go to college, go to school, have a place, a roof over her head. And just within the last 20 years, she says she feels like she's got her roots. So anyway, we don't have family here is just what I'm saying. Like, I don't have to worry about marrying my second cousin. I don't have to worry about that part. But you find out that if you say something or whatever, you find out real quick whose sister-in-laws, who's second cousins, who's married to who, who's their mother-in-law, who's their father-in-law, those kinds of things. And I found out today who runs Jamie Hatton's office. Oh, yeah. So that's very interesting. Apparently, one of the ladies that decided to do the butler whenever butler came over trying to jump on to me. Well, one of the ladies, I guess it's the cheerleading coach, runs Jamie Hatton's office. So that's very interesting. And I got a list of all of our school board members here for Jenkins. That's interesting. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out which pool I should put my name in. Which hat should I throw my name in the mix for? I don't know. I still ain't figured that out yet. Anyway. All right. What am I doing here? Oh. Okay. I already had it over here. All right, so let's start where the public used to stand when this case first hit the news, right? Mickey snapped. Judge was blamed very heavily. Rumors about the judge and the daughter were floating around. People treated Mickey like a tragic hero or victim. The public thought the call from the judge's phone proved something, even though nobody knew what it was supposed to prove. But over time, that narrative started cracking. Now, the phone call, that doesn't prove anything. You don't unalive someone because they have a phone number. He dialed from his phone first. She didn't answer. Why use the judge's phone at all? Does that phone call point to motive, or is it meaningless without context? Is this rumor, going to die off completely, or do you guys think it's going to stick around? Do you think people just don't want to let it go? But I think it's also because nobody's saying anything, right? I've always said it. If Mickey had some kind of a moral, he had done this out of some moral stand, I couldn't stand to see him do it not one more time. Why ain't he saying that? If somebody had done something to my child and I had went out all vigilante justice on them, that would be the first thing I'd be screaming. There would be video of it everywhere because I would not keep my mouth shut. That's not something that I think, and I'm no lawyer, but that's not something I would hold my silence on, especially when you go in front of a camera and blow him away, put 9 slugs in him. That to me seemed kind of intentional, no matter what newspaper man wants to write. Does not seem unintentional to me. It did not seem like an accident. I don't think his finger slipped off the trigger. I don't think that happened. He didn't snap. Something caused him to do this. What? And that wasn't a natural reaction. These are our comments. Do you think this was a sudden snap, or do you think that this was a buildup? What do you think? Do you think there was a sudden snap, or do you think there was a buildup? What detail makes you doubt the snap theory? Let's see. Troy said, who retired? I saw somebody in here saying, yeah, I heard he retired. Oh, yeah. Stamper retired. Yes. Detective Stamper, the lead detective, retired before this case is even, to trial yet. Hell no. He lied on the stand and under oath every time he was asked a question. Black olive, they call it diet pills. Well, the person that I was talking to today who said that they thought, and they're a recovering meth addict who I spoke to today. And they said, as soon as I saw the video, they said, he's using. And I said, well, every time I have mentioned that, people get very, very upset because the concept, the image of Mickey Stines has always been so against drugs. He didn't have to voluntarily ingest anything. Just because Mickey showed signs, which we also found out that at the Leslie County Jail, they P-test every single person that comes into that jail. So as people are being booked into jail, they're drug tested. So there will be a drug test, a urine screen. There should be. I can't say will be. I should take that back. There should be a urine test, a urine screen that was done on Mickey Stines when he was first brought into that jail. I was very critical. As soon as we went down to the courthouse that night after the shooting, I asked them, would they need to be taking him to the hospital and do a blood draw, get his stuff. I was like, will they take him to the hospital and test him? And they were like, hell no, they ain't. He's going straight to the jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go directly to jail. And I've had some people push back on that and say, oh, well, they would have had to have had a search warrant. Well, it wouldn't have been hard to get one. They had all them detectives there at that courthouse right after this happened. All they had to do was request one. They sat out there in that hallway. They had interaction with him. They spoke with him. They knew something was off. Every one of them that knew him knew something was off. And why they just, it begs the question to me, why nobody said anything about that? They all knew this man personally. Every one of them knew him personally. Because did they already have a suspicion? Like, had they already been aware of a situation that had been brewing? Was the buildup so big and well known that everybody knew it? Knew that this was happening, this rocky whatever was going on? Makes me wonder. That courthouse down there is a cesspool of gossip, of, people sleeping with whoever. If I was married and my husband said, "Oh, I got me a job down at the courthouse," he might not be married very long. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, it was shoot far. I wouldn't trust nobody. It's like once they break into that environment, it's like something just takes a hold of them all and they just go nuts. They can't keep their clothes on, and everybody's got to be doing something with it. I mean, what the heck? These are grown adults, not children. Blows me away. If Mickey was a mathematician, he must have just gotten started, because it makes you drop weight like crazy. Well, he had lost 40 pounds, they said, in 2 weeks before the shooting. Mickey was a very big guy. You all see in the videos and stuff. He was a heavy guy. He was even heavier than that. A lot heavier than that. He had lost 40 pounds, they said, and this was right after the shooting, like at the time of the shooting. They said that he had lost 40 pounds in the last 2 weeks before the shooting. A lot of people, I guess, maybe attributed that to the stress of the civil suit, that deposition that he was having to take with Ned Pillersdorf, all that big mess. But I keep showing you all this, and I'm going to keep showing you all this because I think this is very relevant. This is relevant. You don't put, now look here. Let me take these comments down. There's one, and those seem to have baggies on them. Let's go up here and we will, take your pick. I've got 25 of them. Is it the same? I just grabbed the same picture, didn't I? Let me grab another one. So, competence. We like to talk about people being competent for their jobs. Look there, I think that's Mickey. Those are his hands right there, I'm pretty sure. And look there, they've got somebody's ticket, their citation, somebody's driver's license sitting there that it seems like they're taking a picture of. You've got all their lighters, and I took a black marker and kind of crossed out some of the stuff. But they just lay it all over the desk. They're very, willy-nilly. Nobody's seems to be. Look at all this money. And I've got a big black mark that goes down the whole other side. Because YouTube and stuff at the time, whenever I'd gotten them. You see how much money that is? That's just from one pullover. Now, if we also want to take them all at their word, this is what they do. Every time they have a bust, every time they get a big score, they lay it all out on the desk, or they lay it on the hood of their police car. Let's see if I've got any more in here that's got like outside. I don't think I took any of those. Where's all this money? Look at this, y'all. Where's all this money? Where's all these drugs? This is all confiscated. Was all this forfeited? Where are the forfeiture reports for the sheriff's department? Because whenever I go to try and pull the forfeiture reports, there have been none that have been filed from Letcher County. None in years. Years. So how are they tracking any of this stuff? There's a revolver right there. Let me take that one back down. What about this? That's one seizure, I guess. They love this. They have to show it off all over Facebook. Somebody messaged me one day and they were like, Liz, but do you really believe that? And I was like, what do you mean? And they said, do you really believe that they're all that money? Think about how much money they're bringing in then on the confiscated side. Where is all that evidence being held? You know, Jenny says that she had a really, really hard time anytime she was defending somebody. Whenever she needed to go down there, Mickey Stines, she had to make an appointment with Mickey Stines himself just to be able to see the evidence that one of her clients was being charged with. They had Mickey's replacement already ready to go. Sheriff Bill Jones, the one that Sheriff now. And does he have an opponent yet? Does anybody know? I don't know if he's got an opponent or not. I hope he does. Yes, he's a nice guy. He's very nice. But I cannot see him standing up to one of his deputies for nothing in this world. And if he has ever called you out, if you are a law enforcement officer and he's ever called you out, I'd love to hear about it. If he has ever disciplined you, I would love to hear about it, because I just can't see him doing it. We already have a big problem, remember, with good cops not calling out bad cops. Well, listen, if you're a good cop and you've seen these bad cops behave this way and you turned your back, you turned your blind eye to it, they ain't no better. Not in my book. But we all have different opinions. Anywhere people have power over others, it's still going on. They got so much power down there in Whitesburg. Somebody also said, oh yeah, Liz, this hotel, you know, we've been getting on the Daniel Boone Hotel. Think about it. It's right across the street from the courthouse. Somebody said, well, that Daniel Boone Hotel was getting ready to be the Smex trafficking headquarters. What? Never even entered my mind. I never even thought about what plans did they all have with this hotel. Butterfly kisses. That investigator on the stand lied through his teeth. He wasn't telling anybody anything about the truth. Well, And why hasn't Mickey talked? When I was talking about the competence, what if Mickey did get exposed to some substance? The way that they do these, the way that they handle all this stuff, look at all them pills they've got just laying on the desk. You can see under the black marks, those are not in any kind of baggie. They're not in any kind of packaging. They're not in any kind of barrier to keep them from being exposed. There was a dispatcher who died in Georgia because of their failure to the failure of the law enforcement people there to protect their evidence. They had a big hole in the evidence room and they didn't secure any of their evidence, and it OD'd the dispatcher and killed them just because they were in the same vicinity as the fentanyl, I guess, is probably what it was. Could he have not accidentally, but could they have just not protected themselves and each other, done something like this, this mix of fentanyl and meth, whatever it is that they've got nowadays, it could just be a light dusting of that stuff on his desk and him lay his sandwich down for lunch on top of it and then eat it. And the next thing you know, and if of course, he's not going to have any kind of tolerance. You think it wouldn't make him freaking wacko? And just be paranoid. He could be paranoid and not be flipped out, to where he didn't know any better. Was it an act? Is it all an act? Mickey's been in law enforcement all his life. He would know how to act. And it's awful funny that he knew what not to say. He knew what to say and he knew what not to say. They kept asking him. And now looking back on it, the way that they kept asking him, did this have anything to do with your daughter, Mickey? It was like they were trying to get him to say it. Like they had some kind of inside information that we don't necessarily have. Free Mickey. Give him a key. Since human memory is short, mine is very short, and does not suffice for a crowd of things, the authority of those who preceded our age, the divine emperors and kings, has decreed that those things were to be written. All of this is just repeat of time, y'all. It's just a repeat of time. None of this is happening out of nowhere. Nothing ever disappears for good, which the progress of fleeting time generally removes from the knowledge of men. Philip, that damn detective lied under oath. He belongs in jail for lying under oath. Okay. Could, when he dialed it, that other name came up and that name was the one that called back? I don't know. What happens in the dark always comes to light sooner or later. I can't go in that courthouse and look at the bathrooms the same. Can you all? And I'll never use the bathroom at the courthouse ever again. Ever. I will leave and go down the street and go to Summit City. I'll go to the bar bathroom before, and they've got a clean bathroom at Summit City. I've used their bathroom before. Mickey's lawyer asked Detective Stamper, was the shooting premeditated? And his answer was no. No, it wasn't. I think he did. I think you're right about that. I think you're right. Pharmaceutical meth plus Adderall and other ADD, ADHD medicines. Well, we know that they didn't confiscate the daughter's phone. They didn't take her phone, which I don't think they necessarily had a reason to confiscate her phone. I don't think that that they necessarily have to do that anymore, do they? Like they can take it and download it and then give you your phone back, right? It's not like they take your phone and they keep it forever. They can request the records from search warrants, which I'm no lawyer, remember. So anything that I think I know may not be accurate. So if you know something and I get it wrong, tell me. I get stuff wrong all the time. My opinion ain't, set in stone. Free Mickey, give him a key. Free Mickey, give him a key. Free Mickey, give him a key. Free Stines. He's protected and served. Mamacita. No, it wasn't the crazy one that went off on me. It was her family. The cheerleading coach that came over trying to shame me, telling me I didn't do anything. You need to get your family member then. I'm standing over here waiting for my kids to come out. I mean, so do I have to move now? It's kind of like the same thing with the Lila Stines, right? I have to run away. Do I have the duty to retreat when these people keep coming to me? So I was sitting in the stands, minding my own business, taking pictures of my kids, and Lila Stines walks in the gym and comes and sits behind me. Was I supposed to get up and leave? Was I supposed to get up and move so nobody took any pictures of me with her sitting behind me? Is that what I should have done? Those of you out there that aren't my friends. Those of you out there that think that I had done something so wrong. Was I supposed to get up and leave? So when Butler comes and tries to with me, was I supposed to leave? Am I supposed to just keep retreating? And it's all my fault? That don't make a lick of sense, Just saying. Kimberly is I thought you, now see, my head was reading that and I thought you were saying abuse, but I didn't think you were meaning abuse. Sorry. Is the abuse still going on at the jail, or did they clean it up because of all the publicity? Well, the jail is having a really big showdown for the election. All of these people are elected, or jailer is elected. Let her in before she barks again, please. And so you've got my old professor who's running in the election for jailer, and it's causing a huge conflict. I mean, it gets ugly. Y'all know how bad politics gets, right? I guess the only example to use would be like the national political stage. You know how ugly it gets between the two? You see that here locally, just on a smaller scale. And, you know, that feller I said that went to my church that ran for magistrate, and the next thing you know, he was being charged with touching kids. CSAM, they said they found all this stuff on his computer, and they wasn't none of it. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But after they got a cool $250,000 in legal fees and drained his entire family, and of course he removed his name out of the hat for running for magistrate. A year and a half later, they decided to dismiss the charges completely. Yeah, they kept one little thing that was like, because he walked outside or somebody saw him through the window when he was on house arrest. I guess they may have had like a no contact order or something, but that's what they held onto him. Get down. None of the original charges that they had saddled him with stuck around. All that evidence that they said that they had found on his computer, it looks to me like they had a vendetta. They had a mission to get him to not run for magistrate. For magistrate? Something that little? I mean, I don't mean to minimize it in any way, because it's not minimal. Every single person that sits on that fiscal court has a vote for the money, what they do with the money. And that was the exact same year that Mickey Stines was running for sheriff. That was the pivotal election in our area on how this climate, this political climate that we found ourselves in, with Mickey Stines, with Judge Mullins, all of them. What are you doing? My kitty's over here. Will you please stop? You're going to knock that over. All right. I don't even know if Mickey gets high or not, but I don't think he was high I don't think Mickey got high. I don't think Mickey did drugs. No. That's not what I'm saying. Please do not misunderstand that. I think it would be very simple, very easy for some kind of contamination to have happened. I mean, we don't know. But we do know that there would be a urine screen whenever he was entered into that jail. Whenever he was booked into that jail, they've gotten a urine screen on him. So I would like to see it. Maybe it come back completely negative. If it come back completely negative, then we'd never have to mention it again, would we? Because we would know. It would rule that out. But without having that information, how do we know? We don't. Susie says that phone call was the trigger. Well, you know, there have been several people that have, and it's all speculation, of course, but there have been several people that have thought that, you know, this looks very premeditated. Now, his lawyer says that it wasn't. If he admits to it being premeditated, he's going to go down. He can't admit that. He can't admit nothing, really. He dispatched that old judge like a raccoon caught in a corn crib. I know somebody who hunted with Mickey, and they were friends with Mickey all their lives. Went to several of his poker parties. And he told me not to ever let anybody say that Mickey was like a big gambler. You know, like Mickey, apparent from what I was told, Mickey didn't get into the big high stakes gambling scene that we see some of these attorneys that allegedly are and do. Poker houses in this area have been here for a long time. And from what we've found, one in particular, big time gambler. From what I was told, he will not play a hand of poker for less than $5,000. If the pot ain't $5,000 or bigger, he won't sit at the table. But I was told Mickey was not that way. That all of the little poker parties that Mickey had, like in his garage, he said were just like for change. He said, Mickey never had any kind of big gambling, you know, big poker parties at his house. Said it didn't happen, ever. So if anybody ever tried to implicate Mickey like that, he said it wasn't true. And I believe him. I do. I believe him. Very well respected in this area. But he hunted with Mickey. He said they went hunting together. And he said that when I watched that video, he said, did it look like, he asked me, he said, did it look to you like Mickey had lost his mind? Like he had just flipped and was out of control? And I said, no, he looked very calm. He said, yeah. He said, I've hunted with Mickey so many times. He said, he was stalking his deer. He said, I've seen the look in his eyes. I know. I've watched his body language. I've hunted with him. I've been out with, he said, I know what Mickey does, or, you know, Mickey's body. He said, he looked to me like he was stalking his prey. And he found it. He was a big hunter. You know, Mickey knew his way around a weapon. He was not a police officer who had never shot a gun before. You know, the only time they ever shot it was at target practice or to qualify for qualification. That wasn't Mickey Stines. Mickey Stines went hunting all the time. I reckon he hunted with his daughter. He took her hunting. That was something, I guess, that they did together. Was go hunt. Morning. I also think the preacher said something that triggered him. Well, if we wanted to go back and look at the answer to that lawsuit that we were looking at last night, some of the answers that they said made me believe, it led me to believe that they were basically saying they were trying, it just seems to me like they were trying to blame the judge and people who were not named in that lawsuit. But the way that it was worded, I don't have it pulled up right now, so I can't pull it right up. But the way that it was worded, it made me think that they were talking about Michael Clark. It made me think that they were talking about something that Michael had came back and had told Mickey that Kevin had done or said. He said, she said, da, 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 da. But that's the way that that's how I thought whenever they wrote that into the answer. Kimberly says, that phone call is meaningless. He just called on Judge's phone because he thought she was mad at him. Now, see, I think the phone call is just a red herring. I think it's meaningless, too, to why he shot him. I don't think that he went in there thinking, I'm going to go in here and shoot him. But I think as he sat there in that chair, maybe, I mean, we're just speculating, but maybe he was thinking, I ain't got no other choice. I'm the only one that's getting ready to go down. I'm getting ready to go down for everybody and for everything. And this SOB is going to get away with it all. Everything he's ever done, he's going to get away with. And he was right. In my book, in my view, if that's what Mickey thought, I think he would have been right. I don't think Judge Mullins would have ever answered for anything. He had insulated himself so well. He had insulated himself so well in this community. Not just with, he had people on school boards. He has people or had people in many other positions, elected, appointed. They had managed, and I think it's an organized crime ring. I've been saying this all year long. There's a whole group of them, and they have all worked together, and this has been something that I think has been developing for the last 10 years. And maybe they didn't even realize 10 years ago what their end goal was. I think maybe it progressed as time went on. It's progressed and it's been fluid, because you had ARC and all these grants and all the rehab and the treatment. Instead of anybody actually advocating for prevention, let's put all this money where it can easily be sucked out. Let's not put the money into prevention programs, things that would actually stop kids. Let's try to break the cycles. No. Well, I found, somebody sent this to me. Well, here, we can look at this real quick before I take it down, because I want to exit out of it. But, okay. So here is, it's from the 2024 DLG County staff assignments. The Kentucky Area Development Districts. All right. This is this crad? Is it crad? Anyway, this is one of the big, you see, it's Department for Local Government. And we are in the pink, so it would be Roger Smith, roger.smith@kentucky.gov. There's Letcher County. This was prepared by the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Geoprocessing Specialist. Kentucky Division of Geographic Information. And let's see, we would be in the 12th. So the 12 is CRAD. Yep, see? KRADD. I was right. Alan, let her in. So that's CRAD. That is those people that work for them help with the grant writing. With all that money. Okay, so let me take that out. We're going to read something tonight that I got my hands on that I found very, very interesting. And I think that this, I hope it lets me read it. Dang it, it's not going to let me read it. Bad. I'm not paying for it. Thad, did you send me? Let me see. I know you're on here tonight. You always are. Pretty sure you are anyway. Let's see. Mini bike guy. The preacher man might be taking the evidence, the rugs, and the money. What? Nobody knows where any of the evidence is going because nobody can get any kind of straight answer, which I don't go down there and ask them either, you know. Why would I? They're going to look at me and tell me to get the hell out of there, or they're going to arrest me for something. But I'd sure like to be able to find this information. Preachers love money just like lawyers. Gotta show they are favored. Well, you know, that big gold Michael Kors watch. Every video he does, he has to get that arm up there and make sure it's right there for everybody to see. And then, you know, puts on these pimp daddy clothes like he's something favored. You sent me a bunch of stuff. Okay, here. Let me open it this way and see if it'll let me read it. I hate whenever if you're not subscribed to something, it won't let you read it. All right, I think it's going to let me read it from my phone. Okay. In 1960, then State Representative Harry Caudill was named chairman of a legislative committee to investigate education in every form. This is good, y'all. It didn't take too much investigating to see what was wrong. Alan, shut your door. Many school systems had become political fiefdoms, where people cared more for wielding power than educating children. Caudill, who went on to write Night Comes to the Cumberlands, a biography of a depressed area, was besieged with letters from all over eastern Kentucky, where the problems were particularly acute. The school system is the biggest political machine in our counties and the biggest political machine in Kentucky, wrote Felix King of Knott County in a 1960 letter that was found in the Anne and Harry M. Cottle collection at the University of Kentucky. They put their political oligarchy before the education of the children of our state. Letcher County, where Cottle lived, was no different. The school system provided jobs in the poor county, and jobs equal power. I didn't think about this. I'm so glad I got my hands on this article. Talks about James Wiley Craft in here, so anybody who is bored, just wait. James Wiley Craft. Mayor James Wiley Craft, who was the father of our circuit court judge, Jimmy Craft, the late husband of our now beauty queen mayor, and he was a very big political figure in this county. He was an attorney, prosecutor. He lost his license. He was disbarred. A lot of good it did because they gave it right back to him the next week. And then he went on to be mayor. And James Wiley Craft is the one who started the grants for the Daniel Boone Hotel down there in Whitesburg. So all of this is connected. In 1989, Cottle described to the Herald Leader the power base of a longtime Letcher School Board member, Benjamin Franklin, Doc Wright, in the 1950s and 60s. Everyone at the courthouse was one of Doc's men, Cottle said. 30 years after Cottle's committee recognized the problem, the Kentucky Education Reform Act addressed it. 30 years. Nothing like a timely solution. The law banned blatant nepotism in districts. Really? You mean there's a law against nepotism in our school districts? Who knew that? The law banned blatant nepotism in districts and gave the authority for hiring teachers and principals to newly created school councils made up of teachers and parents. School boards controlled the hiring of just one person, the superintendent. And that change effectively dried up their dominion. The 1990 law also created the Office of Education Accountability. So these are very important parts that you guys need to know. We all need to know these. I'm telling you, I'm so thankful that we got our hands on this article. So the 1990 law also created the Office of Education Accountability, which reported directly to the General Assembly. The first director, Penny Sanders, investigated superintendents, school board members, and teachers, and in some cases, entire school boards. By 1993, school officials in 6 eastern Kentucky counties had been removed from office. That same year, the state Supreme Court upheld the Kentucky Board of Education's right to remove elected school board members in Harlan County, right across the mountain. The OEA also helped the State Department of Education monitor how and what schools accomplished. the Letcher County, or in Letcher County, the answer was still not much. Imagine that. Power not wanting to let go of power. In 1994, a state investigation deemed the district dysfunctional. Letcher County, right here, and among the worst managed in the state. Imagine that. Problems ranged from filthy schools to serious abuse of a program that placed nearly 1 in 10 high school students on homebound instruction, allowing them to complete school lessons at home with little oversight. Those students also generated twice the daily attendance funding from the state, created an inducement to shove kids into the program. Yeah, they're getting money for it now. There also were unexplained payments to school district attorney James Wiley Kraft, now Whitesburg's mayor. At the time this article was written, he was the Whitesburg's mayor, who made almost $45,000 a year from the district and a padded food services payroll. In 1994, oh yeah, Mayor Kraft. In 1994, Letcher County became the first school district ever taken over by the state. Did you know that our school district here in Letcher County had to be taken over by the state due to some very unbecoming behavior, allegedly, from James Wiley Kraft? Which meant teams of finance and curriculum experts descended on Whitesburg to handle day-to-day management of the district. The move was unprecedented and jarring. John Henriksen was a teacher at Letcher High School at the time, and he later became head of the state's largest teachers union, the Kentucky Education Association. They didn't know how to relate to people in eastern Kentucky, Henriksen said of state officials. They certainly disregarded the concerns and the statements that members of the professional staff expressed to them. The local teachers union eventually held a one-day strike to garner attention, but the state's experts stayed in Letcher through 1997, and they kept a close eye on the district after they left. Well, what happened now? 1997, or from 1995, so that's 2005, 2015, so that was 30 years ago. Had become, they left, okay. In 1995, then Education Commissioner Thomas Boyson suspended the Letcher County School Board, saying that its meetings had become disruptive and adversarial to state managers' efforts to improve the district. In 1996, then State Commissioner Wilmer Cody vetoed the local school board's choice of Special Programs Director Anna Kraft, the then wife of James Wiley Kraft, for superintendent, which he had threatened to do if the board nominated current or past district employees. Let me reread this. Did you all catch that? Is anybody on here tonight who is from here and who remembers this 30 years ago? Because I'm getting ready to start digging into this big time. So, is this right? The local school. Okay, so James Wiley Craft was the attorney for the Letcher County School Board 30 years ago. James Wiley Craft got paid $45,000 a year to be the attorney for the school board. Same way, I'm assuming that Jamie Hatton is the attorney who goes down and sits for the fiscal court. He advises our magistrates and our judge executive on the things that are legal and illegal. He advises them on matters, legal matters. We have a city council here at Jenkins. Whitesburg has a city council. For Whitesburg, you have city council members that make up a board. Same, very similar. The schools have school boards, but those school board members are elected. That's what I'm thinking about running for, is either school board. May run for sheriff. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Me and Bill Jones. Elizabeth Jones versus Bill Jones. Letcher County Sheriff. Well, school board is very similar. So you have a school board that's made up of all these elected members. And then they have an attorney who guides them and who, advises them. So that's what James Wiley Craft did. He advised the local school board. Let me reread this. In 1996, then so there will be documents. There will be public records on this. My diggers, try to find this. In 1996, so we have the year, then State Commissioner Wilmer Cody, State Commissioner Wilmer Cody vetoed the local school board's choice of special programs director. So the school board voted to make James Wiley Craft's wife, who would have been Judge Jimmy Craft's mom, for superintendent. So they vetoed the local school board's choice of special programs director, Anna Craft, for superintendent. So she used to be the special programs director, and they were voting her in as superintendent, which he had threatened to do if the board nominated current or past district employees. Okay. 18 months later, you know how much the Letcher County superintendent makes? She makes a ton of money. I forget exactly how much it was. Did any of you all know off the top of your head out there how much the Letcher County superintendent makes? annual salary. I know it's over 100,000. "18 months later, the board agreed to look for someone new." 18 months? Well, what happened in the 18 months? Who was superintendent during that time? Maybe it'll tell us. I gotta quit asking the questions and read. 3 years after that, when the state officials had gone home, the board ignored, imagine that, Cody and hired Kraft again. She remained superintendent until last June. And she is given credit by many people for building a consolidated high school and pushing forward academic reforms. So that's where the LCC came from. They consolidated all those high schools. Remember, I told you that really killed our area too. Devastated our area. It took all of the rivalry. It took all of the competition out. It took all the school spirit. It robbed our school spirit completely out of our entire region. You just don't have it anymore. It ceases to exist. I don't think anybody intended that, but that's what happened. That's part of those unintended consequences of them big know-it-all people that just, they know what's best for everybody. I'm sure they got a whole big bunch of money throughout it too. Carol Smith, who was Letcher County Judge Executive from 1994 to 2006, said there's less corruption in the school system today, partly because of KERA, partly because the old way of doing things is dying out. Not around here, it ain't. I think people are not as apt to accept corruption in the hiring or firing of people than they used to be, Smith said. Well, Carol Smith, I think that you're wrong on that, buddy. Still, KERA has not vanquished all vestiges of the politics and corruption that ran so deep in Eastern Kentucky school districts. Still does. Last year, I'm getting ready to file a big lawsuit. Yeah, I've got a big lawsuit. Because some people are so arrogant and think that they are so awesome and mighty. They even put it in writing. They even put it in writing and was so proud to hand it to me. Here. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're going to appreciate it too as soon as that lawsuit gets filed. I'm going to take my nerves. It's ripped right there, so you got to dump it in the floor. Oh, good one. Don't give her my candy.
She'll eat it.
I don't want to have it. It's mine. I want it.
She likes it too.
She's a dog. She don't know no better. Give her something else. Last year, Breathitt County Schools Superintendent Arch Turner pleaded guilty to federal vote buying charges. Prissy Pants. Carol Smith is my friend, good friend. Talk to them. Ask them if they'll talk to us. Ask them if they'll come on our show. and tell us about this time. Thank you. A. Higgins. As of December 1st, 2025, it says the average salary of a superintendent in Letcher County, which there's only one, $150,000. Yep. I knew she makes more than the sheriff. We've got a female for Letcher County. Mickey Stines made $115,000. The judge executive, I think it's like 130, maybe 100, anywhere between like 100 and 130. The circuit court clerk, Mike Watts, his was like 98,000. So his is 100,000. Every single one of these elected officials, every single one of these elected offices is 100 grand or more a year. Does it surprise you that they're fighting tooth and nail to get these jobs? Because guess what? If they lose that election, they don't get that 100 grand next year. They got too many family members dependent on their salary. They got too many mouths to feed. It was told, I don't know how true it is, but I was told, allegedly, after James Wiley Craft died and they were getting ready to appoint a new mayor, well, allegedly, it was discussed that if she was not appointed mayor, then her and her child would not have medical insurance. Allegedly. That was one of the biggest reasons that they voted to make her mayor of Whitesburg. I don't think that should be a factor. You know, like I don't, which they can do whatever they can make whatever they want a factor. It was the city council that did it. That's just my opinion. You can have a completely different opinion. You are more than welcome to. You can love her all you want to. I just don't think she was qualified to be a mayor. And I'm entitled to my opinion. They didn't think, none of them thought I was qualified to do squat. We're all entitled to our opinions. Damn, no wonder it's cutthroat. And they sell their soul and moral compass to hold those positions. That's exactly right. Okay, let me finish reading this. Just shocking to me. But ask Carol Smith if they will talk to us. That's a man, ain't it? It's not a woman, is it? I'm pretty sure it's a man. It doesn't say, but I was thinking that Carol Smith, the judge executive, that's a man. Yeah, we didn't have a woman. Pretty sure it was a man.
Here you go, Sam. Here you go, Sambo.
But try and see if they will talk to us. I would love to get his take on what was going on in Whitesburg and Letcher County at that time. I think, let's see. Last year, Breathitt County Schools Superintendent Arch Turner pleaded guilty to federal vote buying charges. In 2010, former Clay County Schools Superintendent Douglas Adams was among 8 people convicted in a conspiracy involving vote buying. Happens a lot more than what people want to admit. And I think people get paid off on juries I think people are blackmailed, bribed, and extorted so much more than what anybody wants to admit. The convictions were overturned because of trial errors, but Adams and the others later pleaded guilty and are awaiting sentencing. There's a familiar battle going on in Letcher County, too. For many, many years, Whitesburg's crusading newspaper, the Mountain Eagle, fought to improve schools. Owned by the late Tom Gish and his wife, Pat, who were the original paper owners. The newspaper uncovered corruption by politicians, coal companies, and school officials. They also got burned. Their business got burnt to the ground, too. Now, decades after Pat Gish sued for the right to cover school board meetings, Gish's granddaughter, reporter Sally Bartow, is fighting a court battle with the school board after it met illegally behind closed doors. You mean like that emergency meeting that Jenkins called over me? That wasn't an emergency. And then continued, oh yeah, we'll save it for the lawsuit. Attorney General Jack Conway's office ruled earlier this year that the board violated the Kentucky Open Meetings Act on May 7th, as it discussed the district's budget. The school board voted to appeal that decision in circuit court. A hearing date has not yet been set. Now that story was originally published December 14th, 2013. And that's the Lexington Herald Leader who published that. Linda Blackford was the author, and it was updated August 24th, 2019. So I think this is a really, really big lead for us. And our crowdsourcing investigation, because I believe that every bit of this is all connected. I think even down into our school boards, this mess right here in Jenkins, where we live, school board, all Judge Mullins' people. The school board, also but Butler's people. I know that's how it is in Jenkins. I don't know about Letcher County School Board. I don't know about that one yet. But I know a few on the board. Know of them. Anybody that has any information into anything that's got to do with the school board, whether Jenkins or Letcher County, anybody that wants to help us with public records. You know, I also have a Patreon. We also have a Hillbilly Crime Patreon. I have not been on it in months, though. Just full transparency. I have not been on it in months. Just because I kind of forgot about it. You know, I've just been so busy with so many of the other aspects of it. Now, what the Patreon, what it is, for those of you who do not know, if you watch YouTube stuff, you'll see a lot of other channels will say, you know, follow us over on Patreon for videos and clips of things that you can't see here. So things that things that would be against community guidelines and stuff like that on YouTube, like if it shows a lot of bloody, gory stuff like that, we can't show it on YouTube, but we can show it over on our Patreon. Patreon is a membership platform that connects creators, artists, musicians, YouTube podcasters with fans, allowing fans to directly fund creators through recurring payments for exclusive content, community access, and direct interaction, aiming to build sustainable creative creators outside ad-based models by fostering strong community ties and financial support. Funded, whoever started it. How it works. Creators offer tiers of memberships, but we don't, we haven't yet. What I did was, if you pay once a month, if you're a member, then you get to read everything and anything that we put up. If you're not, the way that this has it, let me read it. What did I do? I lost my place. Oh, creators offer tiers of memberships, providing fans with perks like early access, bonus content, live streams, or exclusive chats. It offers recurring memberships, one-time payments, and digital product sales. The platform prioritizes building loyal communities, giving creators control over their audience and content without relying on algorithms or ads. So, but that's how I have mine set up. They can just pay once a month, $5 or whatever it is. But I have not been on there in months, so don't go over to it like right now expecting it to be something, because it ain't. It is there. You can go look. But I need to get in there and work on that. So we're getting ready to start working on that Patreon. So we're going to have that up. The way that works, these public records documents that we are getting, like the depositions, like Mickey Stines' deposition, LaShawna Frazier's deposition, you can see those on my Patreon now. I think I got Mickey Stines' deposition up, and a couple of the others. But that's kind of how you do it. If you all want to see that deposition and read it yourself, you can't go to my YouTube and just pull up the deposition itself. I mean, you can go find it online somewhere if you want to, but if you come to our Patreon, you can go to that article that talks about the deposition, go in, click on it, and you've got access to that document yourself. So you can read it, and you can read it all however you want to.
Move out the way, you big ass.
Sorry. But, all right. Let's see. Our current mayor is a high school football coach and history teacher. It's Coach White. He don't know his but Ramon the ground. Yeah. Carol Smith is a man. Thank you, honey. Thank you. I thought so. I don't know him, but I would love to talk to him. What, she wouldn't have insurance and they made her. Yeah, no, that's what I heard. That's what I was told by a very credible source that is close to people on that city council. And they told me that was the discussion. That was the discussion when they went to meet to discuss. And I think it was probably decided before. You know it was. I don't even have to say probably. You know that was decided before he ever died, that that's what they were going to do. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I'm not saying this is a fact. Take it with a grain of salt. You know, we don't know. We don't know. But, you know, there's a whole lot about that that's just not kosher, man. The mountain beagle. It's a chirping. Let's see. A man can only have a benefit or a right. When a man chooses a benefit over his God-given rights, he loses his voice. He belongs to a man who can tell him what he will do and like it. Well, oh, I'm sorry, honey. Oh, yeah. Pretty sure she could have afforded to get insurance. Exactly. Like everybody else? You mean like everybody else? You mean like she would have to go learn how to be independent and live on her own 2 feet without, you know, I go try to bite my tongue. I bite my tongue. And a Nicole Smithin out here. All right, guys. We've been on here 2 hours. I forgot to stick my thing back up there. All right, we will go ahead and close this one for tonight. We love you all. Someone needs to check into all those seizures. What happened to any of that stuff? Well, there's no oversight. You think everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing? I don't trust it. As far as I can throw any of them. I don't trust anything that they say. I don't believe it. I'm learning. Jenny is a lot less trusting than I am. All right. Thank you, Jesus, for another day being able to come together in your name, Lord. I love you, Jesus. I'm so thankful that you got us to Lexington and back today safely. I pray for everybody who is struggling with this weather. Lord, I pray that you just keep everybody safe. Open a door, open a window, whatever they need to find their blessing and to be able to find their favor. Lord, I just pray that you pour it on them. I plead your precious blood over us all, Lord. I pray for guidance. I pray for knowledge. I pray for wisdom. And wisdom only comes through experience. Oftentimes, Lord, I repeat the same behavior, expecting different results. And I'm thankful that you've shown me with so many different things how crazy that is. I pray that you just keep showing me the new way. I pray that you keep your light right at my feet, Lord, so that I don't fall off the path. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to fall off. I come up short every single day. I fall on my face every day. I got to get up and dust myself off and move on every day. And I can't do any of that without you, Lord. I can't do it without you holding my hand. I can't do any of it without you picking me up off the ground. Every time I end up there, Lord, you're always there to pick me up. And I'm thankful for that, Lord. I'm so grateful for what you did for all of us. You died for all of our sins, every single one of us. And not one sin is worse than the other. We are all sinners, Lord. I plead your blood equally over all of us. Your mercy, I plead for your mercy and your grace. I pray that you just keep revealing the hypocrisy. I pray that you keep revealing the demons and the devils who are running everything. I pray, Lord, that you just keep your hand over top of us and that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. I pray for healing tonight. I pray for healing physically, emotionally, mentally, but above all, we pray for the spiritual man, because without that healing, the rest of it don't mean nothing. I want to go to heaven, Lord. I pray that you forgive me for my sins and help me to forgive those who hurt me. Help me to let go of all that, Lord. I don't want anything in my heart that's not of you. And I'm not perfect, Lord. I carry around lots of stuff that I shouldn't. But I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I rebuke any of the evil.
Oh, Paul, I was
rebuke
definitely
it.
trying again, you know, like I was trying so hard.
I pray that you clean me up, Lord. Ain't none of us can clean ourselves up, Lord. If we could, there wouldn't have been no need for Jesus. And it doesn't happen in our time. It happens in your time. Hallelujah, Lord. I thank you, Lord. I pray that you just keep giving us what we need to move on, to move forward. This too shall pass. Whatever we're struggling with, Lord, I pray for comfort and peace that passes all understanding. I pray for physical healing for those who are trying to recover from surgeries and ailments or whatever, injuries. We speak healing. All you have to do is speak it, Lord. All you have to do is speak the word only, and we shall be made whole. We shall be healed. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I praise you, Jesus. Lord, I pray that you'll go with us tonight and bring us back tomorrow safely at the appointed time. And until then, we give you all praise, honor, and glory in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. All right, guys. Well, you all have a good rest of your night.
I'm a cut in,
I love y'all.
dumbass.
Elizabeth, what kind of info pertaining to the school board, etc., are you wanting? I love to sleuth and have nothing but time on my hands. Send me an email, honey. hillbillycrime@gmail.com. And I will respond to you and we'll talk about it. Okay. hillbillycrime@gmail.com. If you guys have any case suggestions, send it to me. If you have an idea for public records, you don't have to ask my permission. Send in your public records request. Get that information and then send it all to me. Yeah, you can get your public records request through email. You don't have to pay for printing and all that stuff. Each county and stuff is different. But I don't have a good track record with public records requests. The one that I put in was to Matt Butler. I put in a couple more, but with like the Attorney General's office and stuff but it didn't really get much. But you can imagine how Butler's request went. He kept, it was after he became prosecutor, and he kept saying, have your attorney call me, have your lawyer reach out to me. And I was like, my lawyer? I don't have to have a lawyer to get a public records. But I was asking him about Patrick Little's case. I was trying to get Patrick Little documents. He was his lawyer. I didn't know it. I had no clue at that time what I was asking for. I had no clue what I was getting ready to stumble into. But James Wiley Craft, honey, is what I want. I want any documents that we can get on James Wiley Craft and his wife, ex-wife, Anna Craft, being superintendent. And I'd like to get the documents where they vetoed that vote. We could ask for the minutes from the school board meeting. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we can also request the minutes from that school board meeting. I also have a day. I want to request some documents. So if you really want to do this, please send me an email, because I got some big ones that I need done. And I'll just keep that to myself until we talk in an email. All right, guys. Well, you have a great rest of your night. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. We got some big stuff coming up this week. There's a lot of big things happening in this case. Not so much on the forefront, but behind the scenes. So stay tuned. And make sure that you follow us on Facebook. This QR code at the top of your screen is to our Facebook page. That's where all the drama happens during the day. That's where all of our ball games are. You got to remember, I'm a ball mom, both kids in middle school. We play all these people. When we go to one school, we're playing against butlers. We go to play another school, we're playing against the Hattons. We're playing against the ones that live in Whitesburg. So, we love all kids here, okay? None of these kids, these are all kids. They're all athletes. I highlight them all. It doesn't matter. I'll put Butler's kid up there. I don't care. If he's on that court and they're in the photograph, they're getting put up, right?
No, he can't shoot.
We love all these kids. I don't care whose kid it is. We support the athletics. We support any kind of prevention, any kind of extracurricular activities for kids. I'm all about prevention. I get on their nerves. I step on their toes because all they care about is abstinence and, making that money. People like me don't have a place in society, according to them. But that's where you're going to find all the drama during the day. Anything that happens is going to happen on that Facebook page. So make sure that you are that you're over there following us on these other platforms. Okay, we've got Elizabeth Jones primary Facebook. That's mine. That's the same one I've had for 15 years. So actually, it's really kind of cool. I didn't realize this, but my entire journey of the last 15 years, Alan, come get her and let her in. My entire 15-year journey is on my timeline.
Don't worry, I got your.
From the time my kids were born and my life started straightening up, I got on Suboxone, to now. It's all the same account. So you can go back and look on my videos and my pictures. You can see us breaking the cycle. You can see how we have broken the cycle of addiction and several other things. I gotta let this dog in or she won't stop.
It's my fault.
And that is our hillbilly house. That is our hillbilly house, where we champion prevention. But we highlight these kids, not just ours. We're not just highlighting Jenkins. Get over here. Don't you even start. We highlight these other kids.
Excuses.
We don't put them down. We don't
I have takeover.
just because I have a problem or they have a problem. I don't take that out on no kids. Never have. It's one of their lies that they've tried to perpetuate. We give them all nicknames and narrations. We put all the pictures up on our Facebook too, because I am a
You should
photographer.
throw me a log. Throw me a log.
We're doing lots of big things. Incorporating Facebook. We also have the Hillbilly Crime Facebook page. The Hillbilly Crime Facebook page is all shortened clips of our long shows that we do. So the Hillbilly Crime is basically just all short clips. But make sure you follow on
It's ice.
Elizabeth Jones and then Hillbilly Crime.
I feel bad for you.
All right, I gotta go. See you tomorrow. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Can't hide from hillbilly crime. You can't hide from hillbilly crime. You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dog passed away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the